Hi, I'm Nick Coyne. I'm with JNC Firearms Training. We've been around since about 2014. It's a family-owned company. We're run by NRA instructors. I'm an NRA instructor. Today, we're going to be teaching some basic firearms safety and firearms functions for Wraith Ultimate Painball Championship. We're going to focus on two different firearms. We're going to focus on a Glock and a AR platform. Before we get into that though, we'll talk about just some basic rules for firearm safety. So there's several. We try to condense it down to not convolute it or overwhelm people. So we condense it down to three. Never point the gun at anything you don't wish to destroy. It's rule number one. Rule number two, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. And rule number three, be sure of your target and what's beyond it. Bullets travel in somewhat of a straight line. They also, they'll pass through certain mediums, so like wood, paper, plywood, walls, so on and so forth. So if you're shooting, just make sure of your target and what's behind it and what's that made of, so it's not going to overpenetrate and hit somebody else on the other side. So that being said, those are our basic three rules we go off of. Never point the firearm at anything you don't wish to destroy. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. And number three, be sure your target and what's beyond it. We got the Glock and the AR platform. Everybody and their brother makes the AR platform now, but they all function for the most part the same. There's some minor differences, but again, for the most part, they all function roughly the same. So that being said, this is for Wraith Ultimate Painball Championship, so they'll be using sim bolts. They'll either be blue, bright orange, they'll just be a brighter different color, and they might have a slightly different front to them, but they function roughly the same as a standard firearm would. They're just geared towards firing simunition. Let's talk about safe and clear your gun, because the biggest thing is safety. So for pretty much all semi-automatics, you have to first remove the source of feed, or the magazine. To remove the magazine on a AR style rifle, you have to find the magazine release, which would be a little button, typically on the right hand side of the gun. They have ambi mag releases and all kinds of other stuff, but for the most part they'll be on the right side of the gun if you're holding the gun to your shoulder. Press that button, mag should slide out. Once the source of feed or the magazine's gone, lock the bolt to the rear. To do that, pull back on the charging handle, as well as press down on the bottom of your bolt catch. So if you do that, locks the bolt to the rear. So we do a 3-point safety check on our on any gun we're shooting. Source feed first. So I check, make sure the mag well is empty. Next, I'm going to check the chamber, make sure there's nothing in the chamber. I visually and physically inspect it. Third, I check the bolt face, which is the front of the sim bolt here. You can see I check the front of that. That's the third point that I check, and all I'm looking to make sure there's no rounds still attached to that. Once I've checked all three of those, for all intents and purposes, this gun's safe. I'm still not going to point it at anybody unless I'm doing a demo or there is a legitimate reason for me to do that. So that being said, that's the 3-point safety inspection, specifically towards semi-autos and more specifically for this rifle. The functions of this rifle, again, you have your charging handle, which is what manipulates the bolt to chamber around. You have your magazine release, the button we already talked about. You have your bolt catch right here. Every rifle might be slightly different, but generally safety up would be it's now on fire. Safety down or forward or flush, parallel to the barrel, would be safety on. It also has markings on it to explain whether or not it's on safe. So we'll move on to the Glock platform. Again, it's a semi-auto, so we do the same 3-point safety inspection or safety check. First, I remove my source feed. Once source feed's out, lock the slide to the rear. We'll talk about each piece that we use to do that in just a second, and then I go back to my same 3-point inspection. Check the magwell, magwell's clear. Check the chamber, chamber's clear. Check the face clear, gun's clear. All right, so to release the mag on a Glock handgun, it'll have a mag release button, not unlike the same function as the button on the AR platform. Once you press it, mag should slide right out. to lock the slide to the rear, you have a slide catch right here. Press it up, not up towards the front of the gun, but up towards the top of the gun. Let's press that up. Lock slide back, and now you can begin your 3-point inspection. So again, mag release, slide catch. Once the guns are clear, again, I'm not going to point them at anybody unless there's a legitimate reason to.